Welcome, it's Larva story time. And what story have we got today? It is Happy to Help. Have you ever been given homework and you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Well, Lilo had the same thing. Let's see how Stitch helps her do her homework. Stitch didn't care for the weekdays much now that Lilo was back in school. To Stitch, they were the longest and the most boring days of the week, spent waiting and waiting and waiting for Lilo to come home. And so you can imagine Stitch's excitement when 3 o'clock finally rolled around and Lilo's school bus dropped her off. Lilo! Stitch would shriek, racing down to meet her. Point time, Lilo and Stitch, point time. And usually Lilo would toss her backpack on the porch and they would hop on her trike. One day, Lilo didn't drop her backpack and she didn't run after Stitch. Sorry, Stitch, was all she could say. My teacher says if I don't start doing my homework, she's going to have to talk to Nani. And Lilo certainly didn't want that to happen. Her sister had enough to worry about, and so did Lilo. And so with that, Lilo went inside her house, took out her school books, and sat down at the dining room table to study. Stitch didn't understand. Homework? He said, peeking into Lilo's backpack. What that? Homework? Homework, said Lilo. It's maths problems and a book report and a week's worth of spelling words that I have one day to learn. Now please, Stitch, be a good alien. Shoo! But Stitch wasn't about to give up so soon. He was back in less than a minute with a basket full of Lilo's favorite action figures. You've got to be kidding me, said Lilo. I am not playing superheroes. Can't you see I'm busy? Knocky pay, muttered Stitch. This was very frustrating, but Stitch loved the challenge. Off he ran again, and this time he came back wearing a catcher's mask and vest, carrying a baseball and bat and Lilo's gloves. Play ball! Stitch shouted, and for a second time there, Lilo almost got up. Then she shook her head. No, Stitch, she sighed. If I don't start these spelling words now, I'll never finish them tonight. Stitch thought for a second, then dashed off once again. Lilo could hear all sorts of banging and slamming coming from her room. It sounded as if Stitch was turning it upside down. Oh, great, she thought to herself, but at least he's leaving me alone. Then, to Lilo's surprise, Stitch once more appeared before her, carrying a book of crossword puzzles under his arms. Lilo play and spell words? Stitch carefully told her. Why didn't I think of that? Said Lilo. Stitch, you can help me with my homework anytime. There are many ways to do your homework. Remember, homework is just practicing skills that you learn in school. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bzzz.